In this video, I'm going to talk about how to advertise physical products online during a recession. Very particular topic, but a very important one if you're an e-commerce seller today. Time of recording, August 2022, and we're in a recession. But you know what? It's fine. It is a wave to ride, and if you ride it properly, you can come out on top. Some of the very best companies in the last few years were born out of the financial crisis in 2008 because of opportunities. Change creates opportunities, and we're in a period of change right now. Right? So totally fine if viewed from the right perspective, and I hope to give you some perspective today. My name's Patrick. I work at AsteroidX. We spend about $12 million on Amazon ads every year, so we know what we're talking about there, and it's a serious problem. Please send help. I want to give you three things in this video. Number one is the AIDA model, which is a classic marketing framework that'll kind of show you and simplify how to turn people who are just vaguely paying attention to your brand into buyers. I'm going to talk about the different social media platforms and where it may make sense to advertise at this time during a recession. And lastly, I'll give you a few Amazon advertising types, really specific types, that if you run them now, at the end of this video, if you run these ads and you run them for 24 to 48 hours, there will be more revenue and profit in your Amazon account, and which means dollars in your pocket. Because it's really important, right, to run types of ads that cash flow really nicely. You don't want to bet on a massive branding campaign that may or may not pay off and you don't know until 6 months from now. Like, we want to be where the conversions are, and that is what I think Amazon does really well for physical products. So let's get into it. First things first, the AIDA model, okay? It's AIDA, and I'll put it up, I think here, but attention, interest, desire, and action. Action being the purchase action. This is a funnel. It's a sales funnel, and this discusses pretty much when somebody first interacts with your product's brand, you have their attention, their awareness, but not much more than that, right? They're aware that you exist, right? So that's more than, more than just, that you don't exist, but you're on their radar, but it's just a very low signal, very, very low fidelity signal, right? And as they go down the funnel, it leads to a purchase, right? So let me ask you, when you're on social media and you're browsing, YouTube, any of the Meta or the Google properties, if you're on YouTube, Google search, Facebook, Instagram, are you looking to buy physical products all of the time? Probably not. You're probably looking at a host of things, and it's a social media experience, right? So this is where brands can capture attention and then build to interest. The issue with this is that it takes more ad spend, on average, to take a prospect from the attention and interest stage down to the action phase, right, that you want them to take, right? They may have to be retargeted, they may have to see the ad multiple times, you may have to take them to an e-commerce store and have them join an email list and then email them and do a drip sequence and then eventually collect the credit card and they do an abandoned cart and all this stuff, right? The cost of acquisition for entirely cold traffic is going to be higher, right? And it's fine, and that's how e-commerce business is done on a Shopify store, for example. It's totally fine, right? But during a recession, you can see how this becomes problematic because you're spending a lot to acquire a customer, and the economics there may not work. But where the economics are working right now is on Amazon, because Amazon shoppers are not having a social media experience, but rather a shopping experience. They're looking for stuff to buy. They're at least in the interest phase, if not lower down on the AIDA model. So that is a really interesting place to be, because if you can run ads just to shoppers who are, in the interest desire phase, you can spend less to acquire that same customer, right? And this is very important in a recession because you can cash flow faster and you can cash flow more profitably. Right? So if you're advertising a yoga mat on Facebook, you may have to have them, engage with some content, and then you'll retarget them, and then they'll join a Facebook group or a private community, or they'll join a email list, and then you'll nurture that lead, and then you'll get a sale down the line, a couple weeks, right? But if you run an ad on Amazon for yoga mats, your particular type of yoga mat, say you sell a blue non-stick foam yoga mat, extra thickness, right, with a with a pattern on it, right? A camo pattern, say. There's people looking for that specifically. You run the ad, you convert, right? They're at interest or desire, and you convert them to action just by being in that placement on Amazon, right? So that's such a different place to be than on social media. So you can cash flow really well doing this. And so I said at the top of the video, I'd give you a few types of Amazon ads specifically that'll put money in your pocket right now. So let's do that. Still, the tried and true, the autos. Auto campaigns work really well, especially if you put in multiple SKUs into those auto campaigns. I would start at half of the suggested bid, right? And then ratchet up the suggested bid by 10, 15, 20% per day if you're not getting the impressions and clicks that you wanted, right? That's, again, more of a defensive strategy because you can really modulate how much ad spend you're giving out and you won't have a crazy day of spend, right? Again, for recessionary reasons. The second thing are brand defense campaigns. So if you have any sort of brand off of Amazon or people are starting to look for you, I would highly recommend advertising for your brand name because those ads are going to convert really well. You'll pull that traffic in. The ACOS, which is the ad spend divided by ad revenue, will be ridiculously low, and I think you'll be happy with those numbers, right? And lastly, if you're running if you know that there's really only a few keywords that convert really well for your product, run those as Amazon ads. The type of Amazon ad that is a sponsored product, manual, exact, right? If you look at those terms, you will, in the Amazon ad console, you'll find where to launch it, right? You can also do sponsored brand, manual, exact, but that's So that is a good list of ad groups to start with. There's a bunch of other Amazon advertising types, but those are the ones I'd recommend for a recessionary environment where you're looking for cash flow, you're looking for profit today, right? And I hope that helps. So with that, thank you very much. If you want to skip the learning curve entirely and just have experts run the Amazon ads for you in a way that works in a recessionary environment, I dropped a link below to speak with my team. They are extremely, extremely competent. We've been doing this for years, and we can save you the trial and error as well as wasted ad spend that comes with experimentation sometimes. It's totally fine, it's understandable, but we just have a lot of data about what works and what doesn't, and we'll apply that to your account. Okay? So with that, thank you so much. Good luck out there, and I'll see you in the next one.